Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Routine, where I gotta be honest with you. We're back in the spot where I said we would be, reading through Jan's terminal. I gotta be honest with you. I'm getting to the point with this thing where I'm feeling more annoyed by it than scared already. Okay, experiments logged, etc. What I'm experiencing does not fill me with confidence. Yeah, fair enough. I embrace it. I embrace the process. I hear it now. The canal is our only way to go on. Together. So yeah, we're back. We're here. I have managed to make a save after opening the door, so if we do get monstered, we at least don't have to sit through the jump scare again. Oh dear. It made an inquisitive noise. But I don't actually hear it moving. It could be waiting for us, right? What if it was smart enough to do ambushes? An invisible monster that ambushes you would be problematic in an area full of one-way hallways, like dead ends. This is bad. I do not like being here. We got to get out of this part of the game. All right, what else is going on around here? Nothing of great import there. It seems it's very dark here. More projections of that flower. Okay, I mean, something to crawl through at least makes us like temporarily theoretically safe. They're gonna keep making me feel safe in these until the moment they reveal that somehow we are not safe in these. Right? Okay. Where am I now? So to be perfectly honest, I don't have a strong feeling for like what exactly we're accomplishing right now, aside from continuing to move in a direction, just trying to get closer to the founder's office. And because it's a video game and like linear progression, we have to assume that anywhere we can go is getting us closer to victory, right? Okay, let's see here. EL9 solution, disinfectant compiler, main control lab. Oh, that's true. We do need to compile the disinfectant for our thing. Reminder to source new sample for EL9 testing from the cistern. Stabilizers for solution EL9. Citric acid can boost chlorhexidrine strength, could destroy our solution. Too acidic. Sodium bicarbonate could disrupt peroxide. pH levels help the copper stay active. EDTA, good at cleaning up stray metals that could weaken phenol. Can weaken when in a lot of alcohol, such as ethanol. Stabilizes metals and protects the H2O2. Polyvinyl pyrrolidone? A good stabilizer, but could make the solution more viscous than we want. PvP can retain and slow down the release of silver ions. I've always said that about it. Back in Warsong Gulch, I was like, guys, our silver ions, this is not good for us. Sodium chloride can balance chlorhexidrine or lose strength fast, breaks down H2O2 and CO2, can accelerate decomposition too much. That's not CO2, it's Cu2. Base plus active O1 minus copper plus active O2 plus stabilizer. That's okay. Does that say so? Like it says that the note in the upper right in the text here, it says the note in the upper right says minus copper in quotation marks, but in parentheses, but in the actual writing of the note, it does not say minus. It says the copper might be active O1. I think that is a bad way to transliterate that. So base plus copper plus something plus stabilizer. And these are potential stabilizers. So the acid's bad. Could disrupt peroxide is like, is that good? Do we want it to disrupt the peroxide? Here's the problem. I don't know shit about the chemistry of this solution, so it's hard for me to know which of these things is supposed to be. Can weaken when in a lot of alcohol, such as ethanol. So, like, the EDTA is good as long as we're not using ethanol in the solution. Somebody help me with the chemistry, please. Okay, potential actives. So copper ions are unstable if exposed to strong acids or too much salt, best in mildly acidic environments. But it has been suggested that copper is is one of the ones we want to use. Silver ions, highly compatible, but maybe not with the EDTA. Peracetic acid would destroy copper ions too quickly and is a potent oxidizer, even stronger than peroxide. Phenol can reduce copper's strength. So this isn't about, we're not looking for a set of like objective individual things. We're looking for like 4 things that will work well together that will not destroy each other's functionality. Okay. I saw it. I saw its feet. It's out there. Hopefully it does not figure out how to open the door. Chemical pH levels. Okay. And there's more sheets of paper all over the place. Decontamination solution EL9. Choosing a base for EL9. Water improves penetration into porous surfaces. Doesn't work with copper or hydrogen peroxide. Isopropyl's good, except it's an alcohol, so helps dissolve cell membranes, making pathogens more vulnerable to copper and peroxide. So if we did want to use copper, then isopropyl is maybe a good base, but if we use isopropyl as a base, that's when we don't want to use the EDTA, right? Because the EDTA doesn't like alcohols. Okay. Propylene glycol, risk of residue, keeps the citric acid from clumping or separating, keeps copper ions suspended and spread out evenly, but could degrade hydrogen peroxide. Ethanol is compatible with EDTA, doesn't assist copper ions, no big advantage over IPA. So, except that IPA is probably not compatible with EDTA. So okay, yeah, they did in fact use the copper. Is copper Cu? Man, my chemistry knowledge is. And this is just the pH table again. Okay. So if we're thinking that's a good base, if we're thinking copper and isopropyl, then we need another active and a stabilizer that will work with copper and isopropyl. Let's call this copper ions in a base of isopropyl alcohol. So, silver ions are just kind of generally compatible and friendly. We wouldn't want to bring peracetic acid. We wouldn't want phenol. Hydrogen peroxide could be good. Okay, so chlorhexidrine also should be fine. So chlorhexidrine, hydrogen peroxide, and silver ions all seem fine. No obvious conflict. And then citric acid is kind of just a no-go in general. Sodium bicarbonate doesn't play well with peroxide, but should play well with the copper. It's weird. This EDTA says that it is, this specifically says don't use it with ethanol here. Weird. We wouldn't want to use sodium chloride. So polyvinyl pyrrolidone or sodium bicarbonate should be fine. Let's go with the sodium bicarbonate and the silver ions. That seems like a bunch of compatible things. I have no idea what I'm doing. But the testing will out. Effectiveness 50%. Well, that's not the amount of effectiveness that you would want. Out of curiosity, was it the PvP that not so good with the silver ions? So if we're going to use the PvP, we should change the second thing to something. We should change the second thing to hydrogen peroxide, probably. Test it. This might work, maybe. Okay, I mean, that's closer. So I'm assuming that what's happening here is it's just giving us 25% per thing we have right. So I'm going to change this to like citric acid and press the button again and just see what happens. Basically, I'm testing to see if it's going to say 75% again. Or 50. 75%. Okay, so that suggests to me that we just didn't pick the right option here. And I hate to be jumping to the brute force method, but you know, we can, if 3 of our options are locked and correct. Again, it could be certain things need to be, oh hey, that's a save point. I didn't even. Alright, hold on. We should absolutely be making sure we're saving. Okay. Sorry, so what have we not tried as a stabilizer? It could be that the stabilizer was right, but it's only right in conjunction with a particular other thing, right? Like, so, sorry, this is the wrong list. This is the stabilizers. So citric acid is just marked as too acidic. It's definitely wrong. We tried the bicarbonate. We tried the PVP. Did we try the EDTA? Let's see if this is chemistry. Feels like it could be. Oh, let me disconnect from the projector. Hey, that looks pretty good. Compound is 100% effective. Great. The main control laboratory is theoretically accessible. I was kind of worried the door was going to open and we were going to get, like, murked immediately. Main control laboratory is accessible, so I guess we're just going out the way we came in then. Well, I know I just disconnected from this, but we probably want to save again. Okay, so that's a little bit of forward progress. The overflow is flooded. Cisterns should be accessible. I mean, listen, a lot of things should be. Need to reach the annex station, locate the founder's terminal, which is what we're working on. The canal. Weird that the L is always capitalized, huh? That's pretty strange. Okay, so the overflow's flooded. Just gotta find our way back to wherever it is we're supposed to go. Here, let's see if this will jump scare us. It will not. Yeah, I guess we're going back this way. It was nice to have a break from monster stuff to do puzzle stuff. Although I do feel like that puzzle doesn't really have like it definitely feels like you're supposed to be left a little bit flaily. Like it doesn't feel like you could it feels like you're gonna have like a couple solutions that feel possible, and you just have to kind of try a few of them. Let's see if it can pull us out from under a table, because it might be able to. I would like to be able to see it when it passes if we can. It's moved away, but it's still doing something. I wish I could just like look at my device to make sure I have it switched to the right thing, because I don't even know what module is active right now. The creep out music is not going away, and that makes me very nervous. Oh, that was weird. Well, I think that was just the video on the wall hitting the end of the loop. But yeah, this thing didn't actually go anywhere. It's just been kind of waiting for us slightly to my right. You are fundamentally not potato. I'll tell you. Ain't no potato ever had an ass like that. I think part of the problem might be that the space run is just not very large, so it kind of can't get very far away. Which is very annoying for me. It went that way, we go this way. The door to the main wing is now powered. Hooray! Love to return to the main wing. Shit. Okay, so chemical lab door was supposed to be... No, wait, we're in the chemical lab. We did the thing. Now we gotta go into the decontaminate hallway, right? Which is... that way? Right, because this is the way we came in the first time we got here. Yes. But, and I'm sorry to be a huge baby, but there's also a save point in here, so I'm going to real quick just... Listen, I do not like having to retrace my steps, and it makes me feel less scared of the monster. Oh, it turns out the hallway we wanted was in this room anyway, which I did not remember being the case. Okay. Please hose me down with appropriate disinfectant. Although, not that it's going to matter if I got fucking infected while I was in my theoretical isolation chamber or whatever. Yep, the EL9 is detected. Hooray! I mean, we don't even know if... We don't even know if EL9 is the right thing. Right? Like, if that is the stuff that causes the infection or if it's some other problem that the potato monster emits or... Sorry, that a potato emits. That's not opening, is it? Oh, it did open. No, I don't like that. I don't want that thing having access to this room.
Such sorrow in her eyes. Nor is it heartache. How lonely she must have been. I'm here now.
Huh. So, the animal that they found. Deceased, pale flesh, hairless, 10 limbs, neck measures 120 centimeters, an apple lodged within the long throat, which was probably the cause of death. Digestive system consists of one stomach with 4 compartments. No apple was found in any of the compartments. Ovaries are present, but no evidence of a uterus or cervix. Mammary glands and internal sex organs suggest the animal is female, which suggests the potential existence of a male mate. Due to the size of the subject, a partial autopsy had to occur at the site of the discovery, with much of the subject remaining there. Transport for the rest of the subject to the lab has been scheduled for tomorrow. The arbor has been closed off for the time being. You know, just... So, okay, I got in here. Is that... Is there... Oh, there is an ID card there. William Davis, 1013. Okay, that's a thing. Which sounds like he's in there. Obviously, that would be pretty bad news, because I don't have a way. I have to go out there. It sounds to me like it's out there and just to the left. You know, where my save point is. It's all right. 1013 is the kind of information we take with us through a death. Not that I'm not going to try to save. Okay. Maybe the thing's noises just echo weirdly. So now we got to get back to that cafeteria area where there was that other terminal and punch in William Davis's 1013. its footsteps are to the right, which is bad because I think we need to go that way. Or... wait. Am I all turned around? We don't need to go this way. That's the founder's office door, but the door doesn't work. We have to go around and access it through the thingy. You know, the thingy? Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's a thing. We crawl down here. Yes. Okay. Right. I was going to say, it's not in here, is it? It couldn't be. How would it get in here? But it can absolutely be out there. Oh, don't I ever know that it can absolutely be out there. Okay. Here comes the fun part. We just need to get across this room. It's right across on the opposite wall, right? But the critter is right the fuck out there. Not ideal. I do not currently think I would survive a mad sprint across the room. I think that's all we need. I think the hallway over there is pretty narrow. But, I mean, obviously, this is going to be an issue. I presume it cannot, like, see my light. Did it vanish? We should, in theory, still be able to... Okay, so it's going down that hallway now. Which is great news. Do you think it's echolocating? Wait, am I misremembering? No, there it is. I was going to say that wall doesn't have a door on it. But yeah, like this space has got to be too narrow for it to fit through, right? Okay. You know who probably has a pretty good access override? Okay. So things haven't gone so well for any of the old base staff, which I guess is to be expected. Oh, this is gross. This place is going to be a fucking potato monster jamboree. Their matter is just all over everything. So we're going to come down there. It's going to be like 15 of them. Ugh. Yeah, we're way past caution. Oh, that animation didn't quite work. You're not supposed to do that while crouching, I don't think. Oh, yeah, no, I hate this. fuck this. Shit. Let's stick to the left wall arbitrarily first. Boy, my light is not really very effective in this place. Okay, well that's a dead end, actually. So, turns out we're going this way. Yeah, look, it's like root structures have grown along all of the pipes. Okay, it might not actually be a maze. It might just be a set of creepy corridors. It kind of seems like we don't have the option of going the wrong way very much. I think we're supposed to just follow the light. There are other like fake hallways built into the area for verisimilitude, which I appreciate. In case you're wondering, you are not seeing this darker than I am. It does just get very close to pitch black a lot. Okay. All the lighting systems. Pipes built in Japan, I guess? And this would drain the cistern, right? I assume. Okay. Nothing else really going on in here. Boy, I sure hope that's all I was supposed to do in this area, because I do not want to have to come back here. So... wait. Yeah, it was this way. I think that's it. I think we're just leaving now, and then... there was a place, we saw another pool that was like totally over filled, right? Oh boy. Yeah, well that's probably good. I just don't remember exactly where that was or how to get to it. Oh dear. Maybe we go like real fast to the ladder. Yep, that's what I thought. Just a feeling I had. just seemed like the spot, huh? Oh. Well, I'm alive. Doesn't seem like that ought to be the case. Before we do anything else, before we even think about anything else, Let us save. Oh, this, you know what? The pit of water was right here. It was right in this room, wasn't it? So, like, what is happening? What is happening here? When we get grabbed like that and something is just like, door terminal is damaged, gotta find another way in. It certainly would seem to be the case. So this was too full of water to traverse. It is now available. Cistern is at 0% capacity. Is this a good idea? Fucking, I don't know. Is it the only idea? Yes. Like, did it did it grab us and then just whisper us a fucked up nightmare but leave us alive for some reason? How come it kills us sometimes? Did I imagine that I got caught? Why do things happen as they do in dreams? Gross, 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 gross. Alright, well, hopefully this comes up somewhere more useful. We're putting an awful lot of faith in this cistern. I mean, it's nice in here for the moment. An ongoing cycle of natural actions and patterns. Right. Again, who gets to call natural? Per the airlock ID log at 2:37 LTC, Kenneth Murphy, lead engineer, left the base on his own. On-duty crew is sparse due to loss of life and current illness. No one saw Murphy leave. He did not inform anyone of his plans. For safety reasons, the base is now on lockdown. Comms have been left on in the past in the event that Murphy returns. Yeah, by mid-February, their shit was completely fucked, right? Like everything was going awry.
The canal whispers my name, urging me forward. Okay. One final moment. One last glance upon her face before I leave.
I think I can hear the thing padding around outside, but that might just be my extreme paranoia. So, 29th of August, 1978, during setup, Matthew Jarrell went into a trance and walked into the canal. Henry Becker retrieved him via the tether connection. He was in poor condition, had an emaciated appearance. He could not speak coherently and seemed confused. Back at the base, his condition worsened. He was put into a medically induced coma and given intravenous treatment for extreme dehydration. Approximately 12 hours later, he went into cardiac arrest and died. 29th August. Okay. Barely conscious, confused, gaunt, extremely dehydrated. Patient arrived in an emergency situation from the canal location. His general appearance was alarming, almost as if he were void of moisture. Veins constricted, causing difficulties for IV insertion. Vitals were erratic, but stabilized after we administered sedation. Patient has been put into a medically induced coma and is being given fluids and medication intravenously. Judith Weber spoke with him briefly before he was administered sodium thiopental. Transcript has been requested, But I do not see a transcript here. Okay. So it's drinking us. We're like forbidden Capri Suns. We've come from a distant world to quench your thirst. Okay. Module updated. Now we still got to go back to the other fucking base and perform the ecography. Ugh. Entity B. Recording. Or recovery. Recovery of Entity B. Is this the corpse? Must everything be so fucking loud? Why are there no volume controls on any of these devices? I'm trying to sneak here. Louder than holy hell. So it got into the base somehow, tried to eat an apple. Because apple is full of delicious liquids. Moon is short on liquids. The creatures are desperate for liquids. And preliminary cause of death appears to be asphyxiation. Yeah. It's just its whole body parts are not. It is not prepared to fucking house an apple. There's no way that its body can do that. It is like the exact opposite of one of those birds. Shoot, I can't remember the name of them. But you know, those big the Australian birds with the claws and the big blue heads. Just like house an entire apple, no problem. A magnificent mammalian specimen, a true being of the moon. She holds so much history in the layers of her mind. The other entity that Henry encountered is still here. I can feel sadness that is not my own. The others think they are hallucinations, but they are mistaken. They are memories. Well, that's an interesting viewpoint. I slept in the main control lab last night. When it was just me and her, she spoke to me. I know now. There is no place for us here, not in a conventional sense. The canal is the answer. Just a few of us left now. Won't be long until we are all together. It is time to join them. Before I go, I must look upon her one last time. The horrifying thing that happened over really an extremely long period of time. Which I guess makes a certain amount of sense, right? It can't require very much moisture, because how would it survive? So it wants to drink us, but it can drink us very, very slowly. Well, I guess let's save and then head back. Return to the ward, access the restricted areas. I need to hurry. So that's the door that we can't open. It's going to be a long fucking walk unless I get monster ported. I think it's entirely possible that we are going to get monster ported though. So I guess everyone just brace yourselves for that. I must hurry. Here we go.
Don't give up.
Okay, thank you for the pep talk. mean, I think we all see where this is going, right? I am to go forth into the water. Well, I'm to go forth and deliver the water. I'm to go forth into the canal. So let's make it happen. I certainly don't have any other place I could go. What, am I going to leave the moon? How? I should be able to signal to the creature somehow that I'm like willingly going to the canal now, so you can like back off, same team. This is all that anyone wants for either of us. Me back in the canal. Ah, bloody hell. I know, I missed a save. Very uncharacteristic, but I'm pretty sure that thing was behind me. And I don't think it will... Oh, it could absolutely follow me onto the surface, couldn't it? I bet it's actually totally fine on the surface. Bloody hell. Okay. So, we walk back to the ward. Let's take a minute to enjoy the view, because I suspect, you know, we won't be seeing its like again. Got myself all turned around. This is the way. I mean, it is something. They've done quite a job of like creating a vista that is actually able to instill something of the appropriate level of awe in me, despite the fact that, you know, obviously I'm here knowing that it is a video game. The idea of the creatures as memories, like they're not just things that we conjure in our minds, though, right? Because they leave physical evidence behind, right? We read about the hair and the biological matter getting caught on like hanging metal and stuff, but at least one of those, the time that the creature jump scared us near Maria's ID, like that creature was not actually in that room at that time, because when it runs around the corner, it completely stops existing. So I don't know. At least some of our interactions with it are things that are being planted by our own minds. Maybe it's both. Maybe it is in some ways a thing that still exists, but in some ways a memory. You can remember a thing without it being gone. Ooh, okay. Back to the ward, my favorite place. This really makes me miss the Mega Zone. Think about it. We could be playing Gun Show right now. Probably not coming out here again. May as well refill. It's interesting that we get a new chapter heading at this point in the story, because obviously there's a couple of things left to do. We're going to have a task remaining in figuring out how to perform an ecography. But it feels like narratively there can't be very much left, right? There's just not that much base remaining. Okay, so now I gotta remember where the power is for the door. Which doors are powered in which spots? Okay, right now this stuff's all on. We probably don't need the door to the archives or the door to systems, right? Imaging, I think I want to leave on. Yeah, I don't need that noise. Okay. If I remember correctly, imaging this way leads to ecography in the little office. The ecography door might be powered by the terminal that's around the corner in here. Oh, we're going to have to realign the prongs too. Okay, this is where the prongs come in. This is a total nightmare area for dealing with the entity because, like, there's so much space here where it could be and just completely lock me off from being able to survive at all. But at least we have a tiny little hallway right here. Okay. Ecography on. Both the imaging doors on does not leave a lot of power for the doors to the prongs. My suspicion is we're going to go to ecography now and see that it just wants us to realign the prongs based on the monitors outside, but I want to at least take a look because we've never been able to be in there before. Okay, tense up as I pass that hallway, waiting to hear monster noises from our right. But so far, we are being left to our own devices. Always with the noise. Can't anything be quiet? Alright. Align subsurface imaging prongs to designated contact points to perform the scan. Okay.
This reality diverges from our expectations. The canal, the moon. It requires us, and we require it. Another contraction.
Oh, interesting. So I had been sort of thinking about the occasional moonquakes that we seem to experience that fuck the power up as a pretty mysterious thing, because, like, why would there be tectonic movement on the moon? Especially at this point, right? But contextualizing that as a contraction is really something. I'm trying to think. The prong power. So we don't have a lot of power to play with right now, but we can depower the lift. The lift is pretty expensive. What does this get me? This gets me prong 1. And turning off the power to the lift gets us, gets us probably what we need. Okay. So that's prong 1. thought I heard footsteps for a second there. So the door over here, is this a prong door or is this? Yes. Okay, perfect. Boy, not much behind here. Prong control. The idea of the moon as like a womb is definitely something though, huh? Okay. I can't really do anything else with it, it seems, so I suppose let's go. Prong 2, I don't remember the location of. Maybe in the commons? Oh, wait, no, I think I do. I do kind of remember it, right? There's like a long hallway. There's like a long hallway with the terminal at one end and the prong door at the other, I want to say. What does this one show us? Just the doors. Yeah, the doors are fine, I think. I think we have just enough power to run the things we need to run right now. Geez. I really don't remember where that hallway that I'm imagining is, though. Okay, well, this ain't the right way. I will say that on a sort of this is that hallway, I think. I will say that on a sort of an Earth scale, any kind of thing that would qualify as the moon womb giving birth seems it's going to be like pretty astronomically devastating. Bad news in a way that we don't really even have words for. Okay, similar console here. So we're looking for something, although we do not know what. The prong has been aligned. Well, see, the first prong didn't give us a secondary thing or a message that it's been aligned, so it makes me worried that I didn't actually finish that. Let's see if we can head back over there. Although I am more and more thinking that I am hearing creature. That's the systems door, right? That's that one that leads directly to the tree room. Which means that the prong door is this way. That's I'm gonna just quietly move in this direction. Boy, remember what I said about ambushes? That's fucked. That's a bad time there. Okay. I appreciate the discontent to just sort of chill out, though. Yeah, see, the problem is these buttons don't do anything. It's like, is there something wrong with prong 1? Where's the monitor here? You know what? Let me just real quick go and do this. So yeah, prong 1 is still reading as misaligned, but in a way that I don't seem to be able to fix. Let me kick up the archive and see if there's an indication maybe of what the problem is. We might have to do something else. So I will turn off the door to imaging for a second to turn this back on. I do want that imaging door on, but we'll deal with it in a moment. Okay. Lunar ultrasound must be performed. Align both prongs. Proceed to echography. Okay, that's it. That's all that. Shit. Prong 1's misaligned, but we don't seem to have the ability to fix it. Let's see if our task thing clarifies. Maybe there's something obvious that I'm missing, but neither one of those buttons seem to. Neither one of the remaining buttons seem to do anything. Nope, it just says they're misaligned, and I do agree, they do seem to be misaligned. Let me turn off the archive. I hope the archive doesn't actually need to be on. Like, security is granted, so it should. I don't know. We don't have power enough to do everything at once, and that imaging 1 is a pretty important door. Unfortunately, the creature is definitely moving around now. Boy, I really hope it can't just grab me in the prong thing, because, like, I'm in the open and I'm well lit and there's nothing I can do about it. Does the keyboard... The other one doesn't have a keyboard. No, the keyboard doesn't do anything. But I mean, like, I know it says clarity 0, but the controls, they don't work. And we've never been given any reason to believe that there was any other way to adjust this thing. I mean, what if... Remarkably, that didn't fix it. Maintenance module my ass. Well, shit. I don't remember ever reading anything about the functionality of these modules, or the functionality of the prong thing that would lead to me thinking that, like, that would lead to me having any information about what to do with it if the console doesn't work. So I guess what I'm going to do for right now is just save the game and call it there. It feels badly. It feels like we're right on the edge, doesn't it? Almost there. But, like, the second terminal was so friendly. It's just like press the obvious buttons and then the thing is good. Why do we not have a functional prong 1? We could try to get into reception, maybe. I don't remember reading anything about the prong terminals in reception, though. And we did read everything. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here, I suppose. That's gonna be it for us for today. I feel like we did a lot of important stuff on the moon, and we barely got caught at all, or maybe didn't get caught at all. You know, it's really difficult to tell how much of what happens up here is entirely in my mind. When you come back next time, hopefully I'm going to figure out how to operate this prong. And then I bet we're going to see some shit. So come back for that, and we'll see you then.